After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 209. It is Monday, May 30th, despite what my show notes say. We are podcasting even earlier than we originally thought we would because Ty had a couple of changes in schedule. So we are here today.
Very last minute.
Yeah, sorry about the very short interval between podcasts. We apologize. Actually, we probably don't because we don't want to skip a week. So here we are.
Yeah, we haven't skipped a week in years.
Yeah, so we didn't want to start now.
Yes. What's your name?
I haven't welcomed new and returning viewers yet.
Do they know who's welcoming them?
It's not important. I am Marlecia, also known as Lady Furnico.
And I am Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Okay, we want to welcome all new and returning viewers. Thank you for joining us. We know there's a lot going on in your lives, so taking some time out to spend with us makes us happy. It is, for us in the United States, it is a long weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend. Mm-hmm. So we wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend who celebrates.
Indeed. And we forgot to mention this a couple weeks back, we have hit, a couple weeks ago, 4 years of podcasting.
Mm-hmm. We had our 4-year podversary, so
yes.
Yay.
It's always around Davina's birthday, because my first podcast that I did was on Davina's birthday. At least that's when I put down that I uploaded to YouTube.
Right, so 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. A little over 4 years now. We want to welcome back all returning viewers. We're glad that you have come back to the PHN Food Woman Cave. And for all of you who are new or in the shadows, we're glad you've joined us. And for those of you in the shadows, please come out and join us officially so you can take part in all the good stuff, the alongs and the, well, you can take part in whatever you want, but you won't be eligible to win prizes unless you're part of the Ravelry group officially. And that's the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast group on Ravelry. Yes. Easy to find. Okay, we do have in this short interval a new member that we want to who joined officially. We want to welcome her. That's Crazy Crafter 87, and I think her name is Amber. I may be mistaken. In any event, we want to welcome her. Thank you for joining. Thank you for posting in the introductions thread, and there was another thread she posted, and I forget which one it was. But we're glad to have you with us. Yay!
Yes. What's in your mug?
I have chai tea in my mug. In my Oops is a Bunny mug.
And in my Oops is a Bunny mug, I have Plum Deluxe Strawberry Orange Herbal Tea, and this is a limited edition. He had some more available, so I picked up more bags.
Poor Brian. I feel bad about teasing him. Brian is Brian's Yarniverse. And thank you for the explanation.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
It's currently Brian's Yarnovers.
Brian's Yarnovers. I still want to call it Brian's Yarniverse because it makes me think of a universe of yarn.
And it's kind of what he intended as well.
It's what he intended, I think. But he explained it to us, and we were happy about that. He's got his, as we said last week, he has his group up. He's a new podcaster. He's got 4 episodes up now, I think.
I think it is 4.
I'm all caught up with him. He's very he's short right now in terms of time, but he's got a lot packed into it.
Yes,
so
he does.
It's really good to watch. He sews, he knits, he spins,
he
dyes,
he crochets.
He sews. He crochets. He does everything. So it's really nice to see someone that into it. That's really neat. Okay.
You said you were teasing him?
I was teasing about Whoops the Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
About
you said it.
I did. He had his Macy the turtle out there, and I think it was Macy. No, maybe it was York. I don't know. Anyway, he said, "Oops."
He's a bunny.
I was no, he's funny. Well, that's what happens when you're part of the PHN group.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
We enfold everybody in the same loving embrace of teasing.
Yes.
So, okay. I do want to talk a little bit about the knitting games. It is...
Are they over now?
There's one more day. It ends on the last day of May, I believe. And that is hosted by...
Where did May go?
Yeah, well, it's been longer than 1 month for them, though.
Yeah, but seriously, where did May go?
It went, yeah. So this was hosted by Spicy Homemaker, who is Melissa of the Spicy Homemaker podcast, and D5B, who is Brittany from the Sip and Stitch podcast. And as I said, this will probably be the last day I say anything about it, unless I just do a recap next week, because they are tying up all the loose ends for that, and that's going to be done for this year. I hope they do it again next year because it was a ton of fun. And if you still want to get those projects in and you're a member of the group and you have things that fit, you can still slide in right under the wire if you hurry.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of different prizes and things which are well worth trying for. Not to mention the fact that the camaraderie and all the support and stuff is just awesome, just terrific. They did a super job with that.
Yes, they did.
There's the Whip It Cal that is hosted, and that's a Cal hosted by Crochet Hoovian in her Hoovian Yarn Allegiance Ravelry group.
I can never remember.
I have it written down, but I'm not sure I have the right one written. And that's our co-host for the Toy Along, one of our co-hosts, Laura Concert, who is...
For the Toy Along?
Did I say Toy Along?
You did say Toy Along.
Autism
Awareness. Whatever along we're currently in.
Yeah. Crocheting Hoovian. Laura is fantastic, and she's doing a Whip It Cal in her group. And it began May 1st and runs until July 31st. The idea is to take out all your plops and whips and the forgotten projects and work on them. Okay, so it doesn't matter when you start them, just work on them during this time period and post your whips and FOs. And I'm not sure, I think her rules are similar to our normal rules, but check it out on her.
Yeah, everyone has
different rules. I think it's similar, but it's best just to check it out there.
Yeah.
She's a fun podcast to watch.
She is.
Okay. All right. The 4th annual PHN Autism Awareness Cal.
Okay, good. I was going to say, who's our other co-host?
I'm getting to it. Stop rushing me.
Which stooge is the one who used to do that? Is that Curly Joe?
I think it was Curly Joe. I don't think Curly did he?
No. Well, Curly might have done a little bit of that, but what Curly Joe used to do was go, stop. He was the one who wanted to be hit.
Not so hard!
That's what it was.
But then there's that other guy that I didn't like so much.
Okay, maybe that wasn't Curly Joe.
The one with the stupid little hat.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
That's not Curly Joe. That's that one with the little outfit and everything.
The one who thought that he could be a stooge and not be hit.
Who was it? That was... Oh, Davina would know, but I don't want to call her right now. But anyway, sorry about that.
But you're right. Curly did a little bit of this, but I think the other guy did it more because he'd be not so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
I don't even like stooges that much. I prefer Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, I love Laurel and Hardy. Anyway, back to the annual PHN Autism Awareness. It has been going for about 6 weeks. A little over, maybe 8 weeks now, I guess, actually, now that May is almost finished.
Maybe, yeah.
So we have about a month to go, and love the projects. Absolutely love the projects. But before we go into that, I do want to mention who our co-hosts are. Heidi, who is Nitty Girl from Undead Yarn.
Yep.
She's one of our co-hosts, and she's the one who developed our Autism Awareness colorway, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I just love the variances that came up. And yes, Heidi, she did answer us. Her roadkills are one of a kind, but I don't care. I love them. She said they're mistakes. I don't care. I would like my mistakes to look like that. They're very nice. And I love how they turn out when I make things with them, particularly toys. And Heidi's probably just... This is why she got the workhorse yarn back, so we don't use her silk for toys.
It's not going to stop us, but...
I beg your pardon.
We just have poor judgment like that.
We do, yes. Oops.
There's a bunny.
There's a bunny.
Tea.
I just ready when I need a cup of tea. Another one.
Well, we always need a second cup of tea.
Heidi, and she's donating 20% of the proceeds for that yarn sale that she developed to the Autism Society, so that's really great. Laura, who is Crocheting Hoovian, is our other co-host, and we were just speaking about her, and she's absolutely fantastic. She has 3 patterns or 2 patterns that she's
like
that are eligible for double prizes in the finished object thread. But before I get into that, I do want to say that we've had you have one WIP per project per week,
Mm-hmm.
one FO whenever it's done. If it is a Franciscan Gypsy design, any Franciscan Gypsy design FO, any brightly colored undead yarn finished object,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much it is, at least 50% of it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's undead yarn in a brightly colored yarn project, if it is the Autism Awareness Bear and Weighted Lap Pad pattern, either or, the finished object, and any of Laura Crocheting Hoovian's patterns, I think she has 2 or 3, any finished objects of any of those categories gets 2 chances at a prize. Okay? Everything else gets 1. If you're using Heidi's yarn and it's not her Autism Awareness yarn, please post the ball band with your picture.
And actually, it's probably just a good idea anyway, because her Autism Awareness ones are all turning out very different.
Yes,
from
they
each
are
other.
turning out differently.
And that's intentional.
And it's beautiful. I love it. I love the fact that there's so much variance in it.
Yes.
It's just great. Okay. We have many prizes, and I do want to reiterate, I went over all the prizes. I'm not going to go over them again, except to say that we said it in passing, and I want to make sure that we say it again. Ann Brody, who is from we love Ann Brody here, you know that.
Yeah.
And she,
Silvershed USA.
Silvershed USA did donate a medium-sized wedge bag. I call it the Stylish Foxes bag.
Yeah, we just forgot to bring it
We just forgot to bring it out. It was not in my notes. She did this for us long ago. I mean,
yeah,
weeks
I had
ago.
ordered a bag, and she sent it
And
with
she
it.
sent it. So we in no way want her to think we don't appreciate it.
No.
Because we really do.
It's just that Mom is a slacker and didn't
I
put
am
it in
a
her
slacker.
notes.
She is a very, very big supporter of all of our alongs, and we want her to get the recognition she deserves. And and we, as always.
And if we forget to mention you, it's not on purpose.
No,
Any of you.
any of you. No, never. We appreciate all the generosity of all of you, because we can't do these alongs without you.
No, we definitely couldn't give them out in prizes we do.
Exactly. So I'm not going to go through all the prizes, but
Because there's quite a lot of
there's
them.
a lot of them this time around. It's awesome. And I do, on a side note, for the Spindrift, we're not going to put up prizes. We had several people say, you know what, we have enough going on. You don't have to do prizes for that particular one. So we are not going to do prizes for that particular thread.
I think Allison's the one who's trying to tempt me.
Yes, she is.
I am untemptable.
That's not true, Allison. All we have to do is figure out where the cables are, and she'll be there. But what was I going to say about the Spindrift? What's currently the Spindrift thread may morph into the Shawl Society thread for the 6 months of Helen's Curious Handmaids, Health Bells Shawl. I don't know what you call it, Shawl Long, the Shawl Society. It may morph into that. So if you see later on Shawl Society, etc., that means the Spindrift and the whole Shawl Society, Cal. Okay, the Cal. And we will have to let her know about that, because I just think she's fantastic. Okay, that was, who did I just say? That was Helen Stewart.
I mentioned Allison.
And Allison? I know we mentioned other people. Brian?
Melissa.
Brittany. Okay.
Well, the other Brittany.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we'll mention that Brittany as well at some point.
Okay. Now that I've completely gotten off track, I just wanted to make sure I said that. Do you have anything to say before we go into projects?
I wish I had grabbed a hat before I got started, because my curls are doing whatever the heck they want to do. They looked a lot better before I turned the camera on.
Walk on the wild side.
I thought they looked a lot better, and then I turned on the camera, and I was like, oh, they suddenly look awful.
I got my hair cut last week, and so it's not quite, it still kind of has that not quite normal look to it. So yeah, you're getting us as we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess it's time to move on to projects.
Projects. Let me see here.
Let's see how much we managed to do in 3 days.
Yeah.
Because I also count the night after the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah. Because we last podcasted on Friday, and we magically decided to podcast on Monday.
4, 5, think I have 6. Oh, I have 7. Okay, I have 7. Yeah.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually have more with less time.
I do too.
Go figure.
And I didn't do any crafting. I didn't do any knitting or crocheting all day Saturday and the rest of Friday because my hand was hurting so much.
So basically all of it was on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. And today.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I go first.
Yes, you do, because you...
If I count it right, I have 7. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not skipping any here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My first one is 7. Okay. My first one is one I haven't worked in a while. Well, actually I did. I just kind of didn't. in my
You
silver
did,
shed.
but you kind of didn't?
Yeah,
did you or did you not?
Just don't try to make any sense out of that. In my Silver Shed USA 2X Pinhook and Needles bag by the lovely Ann Brody is my Under the Mistletoe Shawl project from the Just Knit It pattern by Susan Ashcroft. I'm using US 10s. These are Chai Goose circulars. And I think these might actually be interchangeable. Oh, no, I'm sorry. These aren't Chai Goose. These are my knit picks.
Yeah, those aren't Chai Goose.
Yeah. And these are interchangeables.
And I know we say them wrong.
Chow Goose. Because I looked at it, it has an O.
Yeah,
it
is Chow Goose.
Chow Goose.
We just say Chai Goose because
it's T. It's T. Okay?
We just purposely mispronounce it and we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. Everybody knows what we mean. So it's bunching up on the needles. I started, I think, my 3rd or 4th ball of yarn. It's really bunched up, but it's that kind of a bright wine color. And I'm just kind of moving along as I can. It's a plop. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with this. At least I've joined the yarn on the same side. So, because it's all garter stitch, so there's no really wrong or right side. I do this when I can't really focus on anything else. So, not much to see there. I just made I think I did 1 or 2
Move
rows.
along, move along. Nothing to see.
Move along.
To see.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Oh, Brittany, I was very happy to see that JD enjoyed...
you see, I know we mentioned Brittany.
Oh, of course. That she was happy to see me knitting on the loom. That made me happy. It did. It just brought a smile to my face. Okay, your turn.
Okay, let me just get more than one stitch on that.
She knew it was coming.
Well, you started talking to Brittany, so I thought I had a little more time. Okay, so I only got a little bit done. I told you guys I was only going to work on socks and toys most likely for a little while. Well, last night I decided otherwise. And I worked a little bit on Bert and Ernie, which is the Impressions pattern by Agnes Kutaz-Karetzes. And if you know my relationship with Agnes Kutaz-Karetzes patterns, if it's one of her patterns, it's a shawl. And it's usually a fairly complicated shawl, at least at one point or another in the shawl pattern.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes. She is an amazing designer. I am using Knitted with DK Superwash Merino in the colorway Yams and Miss Babs Yazawetta Skein in the colorway Squash Blossom.
Is that knitted with from our Skano?
We did get some knitted wit from Skano, but this I'd actually bought at our LYS.
Oh, really? Which one?
The one in Winchester.
Oh, okay.
I think I bought it there. I bought it a while back.
Because I had never seen it before we got it from Yarn Box.
I had seen it before. I had it previous to getting the Yarn Box. It was in one of the big bins. Let's see, and that's in this bag. It's in my pale nursing caps.
Your blue nursing caps.
My blue nursing caps.
Well,
Silver Shed.
white on blue.
Yeah. That sounds like a heraldry thing. White on a field of blue. They used to have all sorts of terminology specific.
We were going to have a flag up here, but we couldn't find one for Memorial Day.
So this is a Silver Shed USA bag.
Field of stars and stripes behind us.
And I answered the YouTube person who wanted to know where these came
Laura.
from.
I was going to do that, but I didn't get a chance to. Do you tell Etsy or do you tell her Knitpicks?
I give it a link to the Etsy one that I used.
Because I think Knitpicks does as well, Laura.
Oh, okay.
I think it does. I think that's where I got it.
Okay, so let me make sure this is a.
I need more of those.
Wait, let's see that. Okay,
Was it Laura who asked for it?
no.
Because Laura already had it.
Yeah, Laura was the one who gave us one of ours.
Yeah, she gave us more than one. She gave us a couple each, didn't she?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. And she knew the colors and everything.
Yes. No, someone else who asked. I answered them on YouTube. I answered all the YouTube things this time around.
Yes, you did. Nikki, I can't remember your numbers anymore, from Nicolo's World, asked me about...
18229.
Yeah, 18229. Yeah, okay, Nikki. You asked about, I think, the baby doll that I used for the hat, modeling the hats that I'm making. That came from Amazon, okay? There are several of them.
That's Dad's baby doll.
Yeah, it's my husband's for his artwork. When he makes like a nativity or something.
No, you just leave it like that.
No, Daddy wouldn't appreciate it.
Here's the shawl so far.
Very pretty. I like that.
So the edging for the lace is starting to show up.
I still think it looks like little owls on the bottom.
It does look like little owls on the bottom. But it doesn't when you get farther along.
Well, my Catholic background, if you look at it right, it looks like a host and the chalice. Which is really pretty.
But this was from her set that was based on pieces of art, and this is based on Monet.
The water lilies.
His water lilies, yeah.
Okay, my next one, I haven't worked on it in a while. I worked on it today at the end of adoration after my prayers were done. I was just sitting there with him, with Jesus. So in my Kiki Boo Puzzle Pieces bag is that was given to me by Denise from the Knitting Dan podcast, very sweetly.
I almost use some of my Kiki Boo bags, but my project, I tend to like a little bit of a bigger bag most of the time.
Well, this is for baby hat. So this is my Spring Garden Baby Beanie project from the Newborn Beanie pattern. And this is by Hannah Berry, and I'm using US 3.25 millimeter circular Chow Goose and Baby Bee Sweet Delight baby yarn. And this, I believe, is the Very Cute colorway. And I'm really close to finishing this. This is knitted flat and seamed, but you can see here how it's kind of tapering. If I hold it like this, you can kind of see how it's coming up toward the crown. I really like the way this is working up. I think if I do this again, I might make a longer ribbing, because I'd like to have more of a ribbing. But we'll see. It might fit better than I think on the size hat. But I really like this pattern. The reason it's taken me so long is because I'm using a very thin yarn. I don't think it's fingering. I think it's sport.
Yeah, it's like light.
But it's very, and it's not a problem to make. It just seems to take forever to get anything done. And I might do this pattern later on with maybe a DK and bigger needles and see how that turns out. It might be a child's hat or something like that. But anyway, this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. And that came out of a book, actually. When I put it into Ravelry, the pattern is not available on Ravelry at this point. Okay.
Alrighty, so it's me. The next one I'm going to talk about is my other shawl I worked on. I only did like 2 rows on each shawl. What I do is on my nights off, I stick in some podcasts or some Great Courses classes. Great Courses classes usually are about half an hour. Podcasts are usually about an hour. So I'll work on a project per whatever one thing I'm watching. So I'll either work on a project for half an hour and then switch when the Great Course is over, or work on it for the period of time of the podcast episode. But when it changes, whatever I'm watching, it's the next thing, then I change projects. So I get a lot done that way.
That works really well. This is not the one I finished, I don't think.
But the other shawl I worked on, I got about 2 rows done on it, is the I See Fire, which is the Neapolitan pattern by K.F. Jones of Baker Bears fame. I'm using Neighborhood Fiber Company in the base rustic fingering, and the colorways are Eastern Market, Del Rey, and Penn North. And like I said, you're not going to notice too much of a of a difference from last time you saw it, simply because I only worked about 2 rows.
And I apologize if I'm trying to make sure I'm giving you the right pattern.
This is fingering weight yarn, which is why it's taking so long. And the rows are a lot longer than they were.
Let's take this off. It's getting hot.
I was actually just thinking how it's getting cold. But yeah, so it's got a little bit of love. Haven't felt like working with fingering weight yarn, so it hasn't been getting quite the love it should.
Get back to my notes here. Okay. My next project is also...
Oh, hang on one second.
Oh.
This is Mama C. Christina bag. This is the Tudor bag.
Okay, this is another Kiki Boo bag that Talia gave me. I call this my Holiday Owls or Christmas Owls bag. And this is, I think it's for medium.
It might be.
And this is...
How did you keep yours intact?
It's part of it didn't stay intact. This is my...
I think you're also a lot nicer to your bags than I am to mine.
Well, you just throw them all over the place. This is my
What's the
How
for?
Green is My Valley preemie hat. So I just started this one because I like making these. It's kind of a pea green. I've already made one of these in the past, this color, but I'm trying to use up the balls of yarn that I have. So this is the preemie size, and I've got a lot of yarn. See, I don't know how much yarn it actually takes. I'm gonna have to try with one of these and see if I can get another hat out.
You're going to have to see if you can learn how to switch colors.
Yeah, I want to do that, and that's
Because then you can have like striping hats.
yeah, I intend to learn to do that. I also need to do the brim. I have to figure out how to fold it up and get the right stitch so it doesn't like go cockeyed on the brim. Although that could be a design element, I suppose. But anyway, I'm enjoying these. I do like making the loom hats. They go pretty quickly, and I can, have something special for a little baby to have in their family. So, makes me happy. Okay, your turn.
I did the wrong row. Hold on. Let me pick back a little bit. Think back. Okay. Next, thing I worked on was in my silver shed on a field of black. Nursing caps. Yes. And these are the Flash Nightwing socks, the Dance All Night slouch socks by Erica Tchaikovsky of Fiddle Knits. And I'm using the Yarn Tree Superwash Merino DK and the Colorway Batman vs. Superman. One sock done. It's been done for an eon. Okay, so I finished a Dreamrail and Sheep. Well, I guess it's really not an eon.
Close enough.
I have about an inch to go before I can start the heel flap. So actually, it's grown pretty quickly. All things considered. I'm not one of those people who really just knock socks out. I know some people will be... I'm impressed by how many people in the Bakery Bears summer socks have already finished pairs of socks. I'm sitting here like, it hasn't even been a week. Or it's been a week.
Well, I get the same feeling when I look at these people who finish shawl Valeria who finishes shawls. They're so speedy. Valeria, I am amazed at what you can do. She just, I don't know, she's got like super hands or something.
It's just like they're there and she's saying like, how did you get that done so quick?
She's just great.
But yes, it's got some love. Please.
Okay. My next project is in my Stitch My Mimi bag, project bag. My teacups bag. And this is my Bonfire Shawl. And I did a little bit of work on this over the past couple of days. Actually, I did most of it today.
Not most of the progress you see.
No, just
there.
the progress I made. I should put a progress keeper in here, but
I'm too lazy to put progress keepers in.
so I'm about halfway through the second set of repeats. This is going to be a nice size shawl, I think. I love the colors. This is KF Jones, Bryony Bears from Bakery Bear podcast. I love this. Witnessed by the fact I have two on the needles right now. Lovely pattern. I like the way this is working up in Miss Bab's yarn. This is Yazawada Skein in the Rishi colorway, and I've got the colorway Vlad for the border, which is kind of a red. I thought it was red, but it's almost a rust red. Maybe it's just when it's next to this, it seems like a rust red. And I'm using Chiaogu's US 9s. So I love this, and if I could just sit down, I could probably finish this in about a week if I just sat down and did this monogamously, but I'm not going to do that. I'm enjoying it, and my hands don't like it when I do anything for too long. So there we go. I love it. There we go.
Speaking of doing two projects of the same pattern, this is again the Dance All Night Slouch Socks patterns by Erica Jakowski Fiddle Knits. The paid in full socks, these are for Mom, in payment for some yarn. I'm actually working more on her project in payment than I am for the on the project with the yarn that I am paying for with these socks. This is Miss Bab's Yazawada Skein in the colorway Perfectly Reckless. It's working out slightly differently. I guess not overly differently, but slightly differently than the ones that I made for myself in the same colorway.
And if she has enough left over, I'm going to make an owl out of it.
Yeah, because this isn't really my yarn. You'll have enough to make an owl.
Do you think you'll have enough after the owl to have some for your... Oh, you already have it in your blanket.
Yeah, for mine.
Right.
So...
Because apparently I have to have owls for all the projects.
Well, I still have my owl in my Perfectly Reckless.
Oh, do you?
I just haven't worked on it in a while.
Oh, you're still blah, blah, blah.
So...
You're still working on it.
Yeah. So last time that you had seen this, I was probably only an inch into the cuff. So that means I got about that much done.
Quite a bit of work.
I got quite a bit of work done on it. Considering the fact that I only had, have only had 2 days between podcasts, I'm getting a pretty decent amount of work.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I have next on the needles. Let's see. My Journey with Friends project, which is in my Cloverbird Owl's bag. It's for medium-sized drawstring. And I did make some progress on this. I'm still not to the 5%, but I was working on it. Let's see here. Get a better idea of the colorway now, I think. Maybe. It's just gorgeous. The camera does not do it justice.
There's some like greens
and purples and blues, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Kind of like an iridescent peacock. And these are my
Or like that little bit of sheen the grackle gets.
The grackle has, yeah. This is on my Chiaogu's size 5, 3.75 millimeter US and US 6. These are my 6s. I have changed from the 5s to the 6s. This is a paid for pattern, but I'm not giving anything away by saying that she suggests you do size 5s for a certain amount of rows and then go to the size 6s. So I'm on the size 6s now. And it's going a little bit faster. I love this pattern. I love this yarn. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm having fun with this. And I need to finish it so that I'm not going to finish it by June 9th, but I have these fond hopes that I will finish it by June 9th when the shawl, the shawl society or shawl, whatever it's called, starts. But yeah, that probably won't happen. Doesn't mean I won't cast it on. It just means I'm going to have another shawl on the needle. So
okay. Next for me is in my Silver Shed Froggies Bag. This is the tutorial toy for Sparkly Unipony, so you can't see it. Got quite a bit of work done on it, but I still have several pieces to do before I can do the tutorial videos. After that point, then I can release this pattern for testing.
Yeah, not too fast. Let me finish. Let me finish the turtle first.
Well, this is a fairly large toy, so it takes a little while.
At least I've already started that.
Yeah. So there that be. You cannot see this. This is also an undead yarn, just like the original design.
And along the same vein, but not quite.
Is it a purple vein?
No. Where is my... Oh, I guess... No, that's not it. Did I forget my bag? Where's my bag?
Did you forget another project?
Well, I thought I put it here. It's not out there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can't show it to them. Oh, here it is. I'm sitting on it. Okay. In my knitting to my bag, Angel's bag, that Lois found the fabric for me, I can't show you. This is my Serena, the Serene Baby Turtle. I went ahead and tried to do a row of crocheting today, and I didn't push it. I just did a row. And my hand felt, all right, I think I'll be able to do some. I'm just going to have to pace myself. So it's in here, and I'm using, I thought I was using a 2.5 millimeter, which is between a B and a C, but when I looked, it is I thought I was using a B. But I've moved up to a 2.5 because, for one thing, I couldn't find the 2.25 that I thought I had in here. And I said, well, you know what, I'm just going to use the slightly larger. It's not going to do anything. So it's, I'm using Knit Picks Bravo Sport in Cream Solstice Heather and Knitted Wet Polworth Shimmer in the Black Forest colorways, and Sincere Sheep Luminous Decay in the Aegean colorway, and Undead Yarn in the Werewolf, in the Road Kill, which is gorgeous. Yeah, so that's, just saying, that's really a lot of fun to be making.
Yay.
And I'm in the bottom of the shelf.
Let's see, I believe 3 people have finished their tests so far.
I'll probably go to the end of the test if my hand is bothering me. But I'm kind of an honorary tester anyway.
But people are moving through it right quickly.
Well, it's not a hard pattern. It's fun.
My final project I've been working on, actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this one away because I think I'm going to work on that one once I pull it out. It's a new one because apparently I did not think I had enough. Oh, there's mine. Apparently I did not think I had enough projects on the needles. I just didn't have what I wanted on the needles. Let me just put this one away.
Oh, I know what it is, yeah.
Oopsie.
It's money. I don't have any more tea. Why is the tea gone?
Presumably because you drank it.
I think you drank it.
The last pair of Dance All Night socks was in my Keys and News bag by Silver Shed.
But that's not her project.
No. My project...
I mean, it is her project, but not the project.
The project I was going to talk about is actually in my Ploverbird Stained Glass Batman bag. These are the Tomato Garden socks, which are the Christmas hiking socks pattern by Bruce Weinstein.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
I'm using Spunky Eclectic, Targy Classic, and the colorway Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And
yeah,
I'm waiting for some Chigu 6 inches to come in because I'm using some Knit Picks that are like 8 inches and they're way too long.
No, they're bigger than 8 inches.
They might be bigger, but I think they're 8 inches.
Yeah. Wow.
They're just way too long.
They're lethal weapons.
But I didn't want to wait to start them. So
you're gonna lose this one if you're not careful.
No, it's fine. I love the way this is pooling. It's just sort of wrapping around.
Very pretty.
And it's really actually quite tomatoey.
Even the side that has more yellow on it's like a underripe tomato.
Yeah, it's very well dyed. I'm thoroughly enjoying how it's working up. I just wanted a pair of socks. I wanted a slightly different pattern than the one I had been working on. And I wanted colors that were a little different just because I felt like working on something different. So I started these. Got this much progress probably in about an hour, 2 hours of knitting. It's not a hard pattern.
That's pretty.
And this is also for Kay and Dan's sock cow for summer. It's going all the way through August, I believe. So, yes.
Heidi, you had asked about Heidi from Undead Yarn, Knitty Girl. I don't know when I'll be starting loom knitting socks. I will do it eventually, but I've got a whole bunch of other things that are clamoring for my attention right now, so I don't know if it'll be in the near future. But I will let you know either on the podcast or by PM that I am doing that if I do it. It'll be fun to learn together. Okay, in my
So is this your FOs or is this your last project?
This is my last project.
Okay.
In my Silver Shed USA, bigger on the inside, police box. I don't watch Doctor Who, I know. I'm a
It's
heathen.
called a TARDIS, Mom.
I know what it's called. I don't care. I don't watch it, so I don't have to say it. Is my Trust Me Shawl, which is from the Sock Knitter's Shawl pattern by K.F. Jones. And I'm using 8s on this one as opposed to 9s because I didn't have 9s and I didn't feel like waiting for them once I had to come in. So they're on 8s. And actually it's not, you know, the fabric's a little denser, but that's all.
Well, you were talking about maybe wanting...
I wanted to try that anyway. So I'm on the first set of repeats. Love the color of Miss Babs. It works beautifully with Kay's patterns.
Sorry.
I didn't do too much on this one because I was working on the bonfire and some other things, but I'm enjoying it. I love this pattern, and this one's going to be nice and warm. It's a little bit denser than the other one, but not a whole lot. So maybe for the fall and things like that. And it's a color I've been wanting to have. I don't have a green shawl, so I have several on the needles. I just don't have it finished. I don't consider my Yowza a green shawl.
It's kind of a light blue.
It's a teal-ish, and it's also more of a shawlette come shawl almost. It's shawlette come scarf almost. Mm-hmm. But I love that. But anyway, this is the Sock Knitter's Shawl, and I love it. Kay writes a fantabulous pattern.
Did you say fantabulous?
I did. I did.
Okay then.
And so, yeah, I'm enjoying this very, very much. Okay. All
right. FOs.
I have 2.
I have 1.
Okay. I'll go first. In my little Spinning Laura bag is a baby hat. Now, if I showed you this one last week, I apologize. Just think about the mixed berries one. Okay. So that's this one. I think I gave you the mixed berry one, actually. I think this is the new one. So
I don't think you'd quite finished this one last week.
Yeah, I hadn't. That's right. This was still.
You were starting to bind it off.
Yeah, so
but you hadn't yet.
This is my finished one. So that's, and I do have pictures of this, so I can give this to Talia now. So that's that, and you can do your finished object, and then I'll go to mine.
Let me just mark off this row.
We actually have more accomplished than I thought for the
2 days.
Lack of time and stuff. I mean, between podcasts and such, and you know, and my husband being home for the long weekend, which was fabulous. But you know, the schedules kind of get turned upside down. He's really good about supporting us and this kind of stuff.
Well, but it for 2 days, you know, podcasting on Friday and then again on Monday, we got a fair amount done, I feel.
Yeah.
So I did get a chance to get a finished object, which is kind of exciting. I finished my Crayola, which is my test for the Biddy the Bashful Baby Turtle pattern.
This is the first I've seen it. Give me. No, I guess it's not, but...
No, you saw it when he was finished.
It's cute.
So.
He's very smushy.
Yes.
It'd be perfect for a baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is using Baby B.
How can you not love that face?
And he's smiling a little bit.
He is smiling a little bit. A little bit.
So.
I want the other one, too. I need all the animals.
This one is not staying.
Where's he going?
He'll go somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to me.
No.
Mine.
You are making your own.
But I want it.
You can't have all the toys.
But I want all the toys.
I'm not making an army of toys for you.
But I want them.
Mean
daughter.
This will find its home eventually.
Yeah, it will. Even if we, you know, do it at Christmas time at the table, so or something.
Yeah, but this is not intended for keeping. So, this is the toy that I used for the tutorial videos.
Very cute.
For that pattern.
Okay.
And I figured out the how to fix the sound. I did some editing.
Cool.
For the tutorial videos, so now I can be heard.
Those of you who've been with us for a while know that when I take this bag out, it means I've been dying again. This is my Turbo Knitter 64. Hi, Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
Mickey Mouse bag. And in it is, I keep my my dyeing in here. I started out with this type of yarn. This is Knit Picks Andes del Campo in the Dove Heather color. This is what I started out with for the base. It's a fairly workhorse type of yarn. It's not necessarily super soft, but it's a nice yarn. And Talia gave it to me when she stopped doing her Clint Eastwood shawl, or whatever that was, poncho thing. Okay, so I actually, JD's yarn that she did for Brittany for Mother's Day inspired me to go back. I had a whole bunch of Kool-Aid, and I need to start getting rid of some of that. So I Kool-Aid dyed these. This one, I don't remember exactly what I used in here. I believe this one was just a red that I kind of progressively did more and more. And I kind of ran out toward the end, so we've got the gray in there as well, which I think is kind of pretty. Yes. And this one I just call Oops, Reds, Greens, and Reds, Grays, and Pinks, because I don't have a name for this.
And I don't have any more tea.
So this, let me put this together again so I can give it. And this is an Aran weight, so it's a little heavier than the stuff I normally dye. And it was interesting to see how it took the dye differently than some of the other weights. Because that's this one. Okay, this one I call Sky Blue Pink with Chance of Rain, because there's some gray showing in here. So Sky Blue Pink with a Chance of Rain.
Definitely different colors than you've been doing.
And it's funny, some of the colors you wouldn't think of, you wouldn't think when you read the package or look at the package that it would be the color that it comes out. I was surprised with some of them. So it was interesting. I need to go back to the website and print out a sheet. They have a color chart of what Kool-Aid colors have as their finished product. Excuse me. This one was grape. Just plain grape. I did this, a little bit at a time. Oh, I'm sorry. This is grape and pink lemonade on gray. I really like this one.
Grape lemonade?
No, grape and pink lemonade.
Grape lemonade.
This is Jay's grays and purples. Oops. All of these are oopses.
Well, they're experimentation.
Yeah. That's this one.
Oh, man.
I have to figure out. It'd be nice if I could figure out a way to have ears like that when they're oopses. Okay, so that's this one. I actually like this one. This one's probably arguably my favorite. I've called this one.
That turned out very
I called
nicely.
this one, huh?
That turned out very nicely.
Yeah, I called this one blood orange. My husband said it doesn't look like a blood orange, but it reminds me of a blood orange. This was, I think this was some kind of a punch and orange on a gray. Kind of reminds me also of royalty.
Sickly blood orange.
Sickly blood orange. So I really like this one. I was happy with the way these turned out. They look like some of the things I've seen at festivals I thought were a little rustic. But I do like it.
I gave you a chance to play a little bit with your Kool-Aid dyes that you haven't done in a while.
Because I didn't want to use my new acid dye. I have a question, Heidi. Either Heidi and anyone who dyes yarn. I've noticed that sometimes they say professional acid dyes when you look at what the content of all wool or superwash wool. Professional acid dyes are acid dyes. Is something like Kool-Aid considered an acid dye since it's acidic? We don't need to put vinegar or anything in it. So is that considered an acid dye, just not a professional dye? Love to hear from anybody who knows, because I don't know. I don't know where to find out that information. But
And it's easier to get you guys to find out further than to Google it.
I suppose it could be in here. I was going to do a review on this, but I haven't had a chance to read it. I got this for Christmas, and I'm going to start reading through it. It looks super. Probably my favorite of the books I got on dyeing, because it does have Kool-Aid, it does have food coloring, and it goes through all kinds of.
I'm going to claim credit for giving you that, because I'm pretty sure I did.
Well, you did and Daddy did. I sold the other one.
Oh.
whoever, I sold it. But it has all the different methods of dyeing, and I'm looking forward to putting them to the test to see what I like best. It looks like it's a really, really good reference. I know that Melissa, Spicy Homemaker, has a copy of this as well. And I think, look at the colors. I think this will be very, very helpful to me. And I did pick up, I have the Jacquard dyes that I picked up at Merrill's Chippewa, and I picked up some of that color, that stuff that Heidi Undead had mentioned. I keep wanting to call it Sethanol. I don't know what it's called. That sets the color in the yarn. I did pick up some of that as well. So once that comes in, I have my masks and things like that. I was really leery to do that, but I'm going to try and just see what happens, because I like dyeing a lot, and I'm hoping that I'll get good enough at it that people will enjoy using the yarn I make.
Yes.
So that's
the only reason why you haven't seen a bunch of Mom's yarn worked up is because I haven't been working on my blanket much lately.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for FOs for me. Do you have anything?
Nope, that's it for me too.
Okay.
Then that'll lead us on. We have no royalties, so that'll lead us on to autobiography.
Okay. How much do you have for autobiography?
Just a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm apparently tireder than I thought. Worked a bit on a shared story. And then I finished my medieval course from the Great Courses, and then for Memorial Day, Great Courses announced the release of a new course by the same teacher. The teacher had done King Arthur and medieval history. I really enjoy the way she teaches. And they offered it on sale, like half off.
Right.
So I picked that up, and I'm currently watching. It's called it's on the Black Death. And after that, I'll do her Great Minds of Medieval Times.
I just started watching Kay and Dan's episode 50, and they're doing the War of the Roses, which I like that period. So
they like Richard III better than I do. I'm not a big Richard III fan.
Well, yeah, he's showing Richard III in a different light, that you almost get the impression that it was like a protective custody, and I may be understanding that wrong.
And that was very much the difference, very different from the way I've...
Right, well, he said there are two different schools of thought.
There are two different schools of thought.
So, and I haven't gotten...
There are quite a few people who are pro-Richard III. Most of my opinions are based off of the Alison Weir book on Richard III, and she came out very strongly against Richard III. And Thomas More didn't like Richard III very much.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's probably more of a middle ground. I can see how it was, in order to cement his position, how the Princes in the Tower were a definite threat. They couldn't be alive.
No.
Simply because, you see this oftentimes, that's the same reason why Lady Jane Grey was killed, because as long as they were alive, they would be even if they were in exile or in prison, people would raise up armies in their name. So it's not like it's even a new thing. People had done that before and throughout history of monarchs. So it wasn't like it was a brand new thing for Richard III to do something like that. I'm sure.
Well, it's kind of sad because, I mean, weren't they his kids?
No, they were his nephews.
They were his nephews, but the wife also didn't really want them around.
It wasn't real.
The queen,
that wasn't really the impression that I got.
Well, why wouldn't she have them with her?
They got kidnapped.
Oh, I see.
I
got the feeling she was a piece of work though. She wanted.
She wanted. She was very
ambitious.
Very ambitious. Yes. It was one of those things. Those boys were kind of never going to be in a particularly good position. I'm sure the truth of Richard III is somewhere between the two schools.
I'm sure.
Of him being completely innocent and him being a complete monster, somewhere in between there.
I didn't realize that Henry VIII was only the second of the Tudor line.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little surprising for me, enlightening. I guess I need to brush up a little more my English history.
But yeah, so thus far I'm not completely on board with. Sorry, Dan, I don't completely agree with your assessment of Richard III. We might have but your knowledge of English history, of course, is
Much deeper.
much deeper than mine. But
it'd be interesting to see where Robin comes down on that.
You know, that would be interesting. I'd like to know where she is on that area. So yeah,
okay.
I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
Black Death, and then Eleanor of Aquitaine. I'm currently reading Eleanor. Made quite decent progress through that. Nowhere near half. I have this marked off because this is where the bibliography starts.
Mm-hmm.
I've read about as much as there is for bibliography. That tells you something, because I've read about 86 pages. There's got to be at least 80 pages of bibliography.
Okay.
Oh, and one thing I love about Alison Weir's books is at the end she usually has conversation. Let's see. I thought that she was the one who had, like, maybe it's not her. She does have a conversation in here at the end, but one of the books I was reading, and I thought it was her, had, oh yeah, here it is, reading group questions and topics for discussion.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome.
Well, Terry Brooks used to do that in fantasy books. For that.
So I think that's just,
or was it, Scott Orson Scott Card?
I didn't really care for Orson Scott Card. I read Ender's Game, but...
Yeah, but he has, questions like that, too.
But yeah, this is questions at the end, which I think is phenomenal for a history book. But yeah, I am reading Eleanor of Aquitaine so far and enjoying that. She has just met Henry II.
Okay, I am still reading the hero. Well, actually, I'm not reading the Hero's Lot. I'm reading A Cast of Kings by Patrick W. Carr. I am about a little more than a third through. I'm speeding right through it. I had to find something to read. I'll probably read the Father Brown thing that I found that's being written by someone who's kind of a scholar, knowledgeable of the of G.K. Chesterton and his Father Brown character. So I will probably read that, and hopefully then by the time I'm finished with that, the other book that's coming out by Patrick Carr will be out, so I can read it. So I'm doing that. I didn't do much writing, although I've been thinking about writing. I'm getting ready to, next weekend I start my stint as prompt mistress at the Percolator for writing, so that'll be fun. But basically, I don't have a whole lot in the way of author obsessions this time around. I do have a thank you for that crochet kid who is Brian from the Yarniverse podcast. He gave us a very nice shout out on his podcast. We appreciate that. Always like to appear on somebody else's podcast, so to speak. Makes us happy. And if you haven't watched him, you might want to check him out. He's really good.
Yes, he is.
And then we want to thank Spicy Homemaker, Deep Martin, Ambi Crafts Reads, and Nitty Girl 1 for their comments on YouTube. We are behind on comments in the threads.
And I was going to say, I caught up on YouTube.
And I'm not caught up on YouTube either. It's been a very short period of time, so we haven't been able to get completely caught up there, and I'm woefully behind on both because I'm not awake during the night time when nobody else is up, and when I am up, people want me to do things. Go figure. So I am behind on the threads. I will try to catch up and answer people's questions. I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't had time to do that.
I'm slowly but surely trying to get caught up.
Okay, is there anything else we need to...
I think that actually covers it.
I think our next podcast will be on Monday, as far as we know. Keep an eye on the announcements threads, because sometimes the schedule just gets a little out of whack.
Especially with summer being the way it is, there's people going on vacation and stuff like that, so that can affect my schedule. Right.
So we are planning on podcasting on Mondays for the foreseeable future. So we hope to be able to get on some kind of an even keel for you guys with that schedule. I guess that's about it.
I think I need another cup of tea.
Well, let's say goodbye to the folks, please. So that's all, folks. We want to wish you all a very blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, sewing, dyeing, spinning, whatever it is you do that makes you happy, and a happy Memorial Day weekend for those of you who are celebrating. We look forward to seeing you here again in the PHN Foon Woman Cave next week. And this is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 209, and that's a wrap.